1 second. I'm in the middle of just getting some last second info. Alright, I'm still here. I'm just trying to put the thumbnail up, which I'm having trouble with. Let's see. Ugh. I might just have to do a thumbnail after. It's a good thumbnail too. That's why I'm so hell-bent on getting it in there. Alrighty, guys, here we go. No, I'm not restarting. I'm just, why? Did something happen? Oh, no. I'll just have to, edit out the beginning. So hopefully people know I'm live. If not, they'll catch this. This is a huge story. And this is where you'll hear it first. I'm not saying that, I'm breaking it. I'm actually second on this story on YouTube. There was one person on YouTube that had this first. And first, before I get into it, I want to give that person credit. And this is somebody who I had heard of before from someone named Adam. And Adam wasn't too happy with him. So right away, I kind of liked the guy anyway. But it turns out he's pretty good at getting out information that on this side of the hemisphere just isn't getting out. And his name is John Boy. So if you guys want to check out a good YouTuber that knows how to get some intel that you're not seeing anywhere else, like myself and like people from Boston and people who break big stories, like I don't know. There's so many examples I can give right now, but yes, I would like to recommend John Boy, and just like it sounds, John Boy. And also, I would like to thank Kelly Kibo for bringing this to my attention. Um, Kelly Kibo happens to be subscribed to John Boy, and John Boy happens to actually be at 930 some odd subscribers. And somebody who broke this story, I mean, I'm second to it, but just by luck, because I have great moderators like Kelly Kibo, and she follows John Boy, and he was first to it. So let me see, Kelly Kibo. Okay, so she just put his channel for John Boy. If you guys want to subscribe, he's at like 930 something subscribers. Now, we aren't like a cult, so we don't do love mob. We don't do all that. If we did, the DSM-5 might diagnose us. I mean, like, that's not even a joke. That's like a fact. But, here and there, I come across channels that have the same views, that they can kind of sniff out the BS of fake channels. And they also break huge stories. He was the first YouTuber to break it. I'm the second, but because of him. So give love to John Boy if you'd like. I'm not telling you guys what to do because this is a free country. This isn't a cult. But I'm sure that if you are capable of breaking one story, you're gonna break multiple stories. I know that as soon as I'm done, am going to go and subscribe to him with this channel, with my channel as well, and with my channel. So I suggest you guys do the same, but it's up to you. So let's get into this bombshell story. The reason it took me so long to go live. Well, first of all, the reason it took me 9 minutes to actually even why the first 9 minutes are kind of dead is it wouldn't let me use a certain photo for the oh my god, wow, hello Matt, for the thumbnail. So I don't know why it wouldn't let me use that, and that kind of even makes more credence to this story to me. It seems like the Western Hemisphere is trying to downplay this story, so don't be surprised if they kind of suppress the story or stop making me buffer. And you know me, I don't censor myself, but what I will do for this story is not curse. I might even avoid certain words. I just want to make sure, and also kind of at the same time do an experiment. Are they just buffering just to prove that they buffer anything? I don't even have to, it's not an experiment, I know what the answer is. But they will buffer and try to shoot down stories that they don't like. All I did was put in the title and load this up, and right away it was demonetized. I mean, what's the title? Breaking: ILHAN OMAR working for Iran/Qatar against and USA, but instead an American flag. Demonetized right away. I mean, damn, man. That's why Trump needs to win the second term, because there's a lot of stuff on this internet that, if we're going to have free speech, we need to have free speech on the internet. Or at least something close to it. I understand how free speech on the internet can get out of hand because there's a lot of disinformation. But really, most of the disinformation is being put out by shills in the government anyway. So, things need to be done. But, with no further rambling, let me get straight to the story. This is unbelievable. All right, let's jump right in, guys. Wow, they took away my button to share. It's not letting me share screen. I've never done it this way. This is so weird. So, you guys are gonna have to tell me. Okay, not yet, not yet, not yet. But you guys tell me. Um, hmm. Okay. Can you guys see this? Yes or no? Can you guys see what I'm sharing? Now I gotta go back and see. Just say yes or no if you guys could see what I was just sharing. Please. Okay, good. Okay. I just want to make sure. Because it turns out on that last video, when I was just talking about sports betting, but it wasn't sharing the screen. Which, by the way, I hate to take away from the story, but if for you, those of you guys who were paying attention when I was kind of plugging my sports channel, did I say Baltimore would kill them? And did I say it would go under 53.5? Yeah. So, I mean, just for those of you who don't know, the ending score was, it was to 6. So it was, I believe, 45. No, I know it is. It was 40. Baltimore won that game. They were only favored by 3 points, 45-6. So, if you guys took my bets this past weekend, then you did very well. And I won't talk any more about that stuff except to say that for the Thanksgiving games, I will be doing a video on my Thanksgiving games, and I will put them on my other channel, which is Wise Guy Bets. And, you can find that on this channel as well. But you know what? I will also maybe put that video out tomorrow on this channel as well. So that way, any of you guys, or if you guys have a family member that wants to, put a little money on some games, I mean, you can tell them that you know somebody through 12 weeks who hasn't had a losing week yet. So, and that's a fact that, like everything I say, can be backed up with proof. Alright, so let's jump right into it. So this is how it first started. So, Alan Bender's federal court testimony, so this is in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, claims ILHAN OMAR is Qatar's crown jewel in D.C. Report. Now, mind you, this was reported widely in the other hemisphere, in particular in the Middle East. And over here in this hemisphere, it was not reported at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they buffer the HE double hockey sticks out of it. See how I didn't swear? I just want to see if it's the swearing or the buffering. And I'm also trying to not use too many keywords without being ridiculous. But that's only for an experiment. I will never censor myself except for something like this that makes sense. Okay, so now mind you, this story happens to start out with an editor's note. Wow, how convenient. Meanwhile, let me actually, you know what? I'll just do all that stuff after. I was gonna. Okay, what's going on? Oh no. I should have never even pressed that. But I should. This is crazy. Okay, so what just happened? You know what? I'll just hit back on this. But it just goes right here. Oh, man. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to get you right back to where we were. This shouldn't be so difficult, but it's always something here. Always something. All right. All right, here we go. So, now see how this one starts out with a editor's note? I mean, is that normal for, someone reporting a story? Now, I was going to give a note like this, but basically I just want to say that so far this has not been being reported in America. Actually, I already said all that. So I just wanted to make sure that people knew that. Take that for what you will, whether it be that they are censoring us with propaganda. And as far as propaganda, we know that's true because the Smith-Mundt Act, which was passed in 2011, which lifted the previous ban on propaganda here in the United States of America under Obama. But then again, there's other countries that put out stuff that try to hurt our country. Yet, here's what there is about that. So, editor's note. Though this story has been picked up by several foreign and domestic outlets, actually not several domestic outlets, no. And in any domestic outlet that picked it up, they must have just picked it up, or there was one I saw picked it up, and all they were talking about was that how it was disinformation. But there were, like I said at the beginning, there were a bunch of foreign outlets, especially on the other side of the hemisphere, in particular the middle of the East, if you know what I mean, okay? And I know it's weird hearing me talk like that, but I just want to make sure that this doesn't buffer, and at least come to the conclusion that if it is buffering, it's because, well, not because of swearing, not because of keywords, but because they don't want the story out there. So, let's see. So, its sourcing is questionable. Let me stop from there. Though this story has been picked up by several foreign and domestic outlets, its sourcing is questionable. So, at least there you go. You get to hear that. Although, I mean, how many times do we hear a story start with that from the editor? So that's telling to me. That might work on, Joe Bag of Donuts, but it's not going to work on an intelligent audience like this. Al Arabiya, who first reported it, is a Saudi-backed news outlet intent on countering Qatari-backed news outlet Al Jazeera. Well, if he's Saudi-backed, the Saudis are our greatest strategical ally, and vice versa. They need us now more than ever. Why do you think we put all that weaponry there when things started heating up about 2 months ago? So it's not in their best interest to crap all over American congressmen and women. But let's keep an open mind and move forward while using discernment, of course. Moreover, the source of the testimony testimony referenced in the story. Kuwaiti-born. My father was Azorian-born, but here's the key point: Canadian citizen. Who, by the way, that must be the Canadian-born, the Kuwaiti-born. Although they could, in any other instance, they would just say Canadian. Alan Bender, I believe that's him. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's him. Has made other explosive accusations in the past that have not been corroborated. Well, okay. So, noted, yet still not seeing why this is all needed. Though nothing has been disproven either. Well, there is the key. There is the truth right in those parentheses. Though nothing has been disproven either. And they're not just talking about this story, they're talking about all the BS that they're trying to paint on the guy who broke this. As far as the national stage goes. As far as YouTube goes, like I said before, John Boy, somebody who Adam didn't like too much because he asked too many questions, I guess. He's the one who broke it. He's at 930 to 40 subscribers. He only needs about 60 more subscribers, and I think that he earned it with this story because he was the first on YouTube, and although everyone here except for Kelly is hearing this here first, we are the second on it. Here we go. See, I don't claim to break things if I don't, but I'm happy that John Boyd did. He deserves that 1,000. So let's continue. But that's your choice. I'm not saying do a love mob, I'm not clinically insane, according to DSM-5. Okay, again, I already said all that, so let's continue. So though nothing has been disproven, either. I am choosing to run this story because if it's true, it's true. It's extremely important information. Exactly. Which is exactly why I'm making such a big deal out of this story. This is huge. I can't stress enough how huge this is. But be aware of the potential for this to be fake news as part of a counter propaganda effort. So not just propaganda, but counter propaganda. Okay, whoa. Against Qatar by the Saudis. I don't think that would bode too well for them going after, because this involves an American congresswoman. Which is why I'm not seeing it from that angle. And it's pretty clear that this guy isn't seeing it from this angle either. But I think he's more worried about the backlash he's about to get for, I don't know, telling the truth. If this is true, forget about impeachment. ILHAN OMAR should go down for treason. But you guys don't even know what I'm talking about yet, so let's continue. Well, except for Kelly. So be aware of the fake news as part of we are the enemy of fake news, of which there is plenty out there already. Oh, I couldn't agree more. We will rapidly retract this story if it turns out to be false. And as Red Pill, as will I. If. So, the original story. I kind of like this writer. explosive allegations have surfaced regarding representative of Minnesota, which in the first place, what the hell are you doing, Minnesota? I understand the Somali population, but it's not like they have that large of a population where I can see this making any sense. And then you get rid of, I'm an independent. I actually liked Al Franken, and because he's made out to be like a sexual abuser when over Kevlar he made a joke. If you guys don't know Al Franken, he was originally a comedian, and he's a Democrat. So it's not like this is like I'm not the type that just it's a Democrat, I hate them automatically. No. Yeah, I'm definitely a Trump supporter, but I'm a true independent. So Minnesota, you get rid of someone like that, who is actually a good senator, and you bring in a congresswoman like this. Anyone here from Minnesota? I've heard a lot of great things about Minnesota, but as far as what you guys are doing with your political figures, please get out there, vote, talk to your neighbors, talk to your friends, talk to your family, get proactive. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. I mean, I'm doing that here in Massachusetts, and I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to change anything. Not in Massachusetts, I'll tell you that. And let's continue. So again, let me start this sentence again. Explosive allegations have surfaced regarding Representative ILHAN OMAR and the Middle Eastern nation of Qatar. According to testimony in a Florida federal court last month, Alan Bender claims to have heard through conversations with Qatari officials that they have, and wait for it, bribed and corrupted multiple influencers and even politicians in the United States. I repeat, Alan Bender claims to have heard through conversations with Qatari officials that they have bribed and corrupted multiple influencers and even politicians OMAR in the United States. According to his testimony, one official told Bender that OMAR is the crown jewel, end quote, in Qatar's efforts to embed its assets in American government. Now, this isn't the first we've heard about stuff like this. Under Obama, all of a sudden the Muslim Brotherhood became a force to be reckoned with, and this is exactly what they said they were going to do. And mind you, this isn't just some claim. This guy went into courthouses and swore under oath. So with that said, let's continue. Bender testified through video link from Toronto that he met with Qatar's secretary to the Emir for Security Affairs, Mohammed bin Ahmad bin Abdullah Al Masnad, and two other senior Qatari officials. His testimony was part of a trial for Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Thani. If it wasn't for our cash, ILHAN OMAR would be just another black Somali refugee in America, collecting welfare and serving tables on weekends, the three Qatari officials claimed. Wow. According to Bender's sworn deposition obtained by Al Arabiya English and authenticated by the attorney for the plaintiffs. Now, I find this all to be stunning and, I mean, credible, because this guy is, he's putting it all on the line, and it rings true. Now, do I think she'd be serving tables? No, I think they're kind of, talking a little bit out of context on that. But she definitely wouldn't be, a woman with as much power as she has, a politician of a great state like Minnesota, representative, and not just a congresswoman, but I would say one of the top 5 most influential Democratic Congress men or women there are. So let's continue. ILHAN OMAR, Qatari asset, in quotes, Florida court hears. So now it makes its way to actual court, or an actual courthouse in Florida. Let that soak in for a second. Bender testified that the officials asked him to recruit American politicians and journalists as Qatari assets, and that when he objected, was told that several prominent figures were already on the payroll. U.S. Congresswoman Omar was described as the jewel in the crown, he said. So basically that's like their you know how like a pimp has like a their main bitch. Well, she's like their main spy bitch. So let me continue. I try not to swear, but that's not too bad of a swear. That shouldn't make it buffer. I'm just curious if it's buffering. I can't like as you guys know, if you don't know, when I'm screen sharing like this, I can't see the comments. So I could actually, before I go any further, and I'm sorry, I know you guys like on the edge of your seats with this, but I could actually pull it up on my TV. I could do that. That way I can see if it's buffering or not. I'll just turn down the volume so it doesn't interrupt. And let me do that right now. So just bear with me literally like 10 seconds. Alright. I'm still right here, guys. Alright. So, oh good. So the thumbnail is working. That's good. Now let me just turn down the volume. Let me make sure. The thumbnail is working. That's good. Alright, good. Alright. So now I can see if it's starting to buffer. Okay. So let's continue. Qatar recruited ILHAN Omar from even way before she thought about becoming a government official. They groomed her and arranged the foundation, the grounds, for her to get into politics way before she even showed interest. They convinced her, he added. I wonder if they were the ones who told her to, stop hanging around with her husband. Husband. What? Yeah, that's true. Anyways, the deposition shows he further told the court that during a 2017 meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, OMAR swore allegiance to him. Whoa! Bombshell! Let me read that again. The deposition, meaning like, I don't know, like sworn testimony in a Florida courthouse. Now, I know Florida is a little bit funky and all that, but it doesn't matter. It's the United States of America. And, you know, when you go to a courthouse like that, I mean, this guy would be risking more than his freedom, put it that way, if he was to be lying about this. So he says the deposition it says the deposition shows he further told the court that during a 2017 meeting, around the time when she was calling, you know, Trump a fascist and all that, with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Erdogan, OMAR swore allegiance to him. So ILHAN OMAR, according to this sworn deposition, swore allegiance to Erdogan. This is unbelievable. At the time, she was a junior state representative in Minnesota. I mean, isn't she still a junior state representative in Minnesota? I don't understand. This isn't that long ago. Oh, I guess since the midterms, maybe. But, you know, I mean, regardless, junior, senior, it doesn't matter. She is one of the most top 5 influential Democratic congressmen or women. And she's swearing allegiance to Erdogan. Forget about what she's doing for Qatar and Iran. Ooh. Add Turkey to that list now. OMAR has denied the accusations in a statement. Oh, of course she has. I mean, what is she gonna admit them? So let me see. So this is from her statement. The latest outlandishly absurd story from a Saudi-funded, I bet you somebody in I'll stop. I'm joking, but it's actually probably true. You know, if what this man is saying is correct, you know, some Qatari, someone from Qatar probably, paid somebody to prepare this statement for her. The latest outlandishly absurd story from a Saudi-funded media outlet is of course false, and only the latest in that trend, the statement said. The only people Representative OMAR represents in Washington are the people of Minnesota's 5th District. We'll see about that once they get a chance to vote on this. Anyways, I'll continue. She will continue to speak out against human rights violations around the world, whether it is war crimes in Yemen or the caging of children at our border, regardless of who commits them. You know, kind of how she spoke out against 9/11 when she said, you know, some people did some things. Yeah. That happened. Anyways, Bender's testimony also claims OMAR passed on classified... Whoa! This is like getting crazier and crazier. I mean, I always try to get like the gist of something, but with this, I got the gist of it. But I always like to have an honest reaction. But this is just like, it's getting worse and worse. This is way worse than I thought. I might have to change the name of this video. Whoa! So Bender's testimony also claims OMAR passed on classified information to Iran through her Qatari handlers. You know, I also find the timing to be kind of odd. And I don't mean odd in a way like, you know, it's coming out at a time and, you know, like she might be being set up. No, I find it odd because there's a bunch of stuff that's been starting to come out and will continue to come out until the ultimate come out December 9th. And we'll talk more about that, by the way, on part 2 of what I started this morning. But after seeing this story, I had to go with this story. It's time sensitive. I wanted to get it out. But for those of you who saw part 1, which is more of an introduction, part 2 will be coming later. But whatever. We're focusing on this story right now. So, these claims... Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. These claims by Bender are not the first time he's accused Qatar of trying to influence American policies. In an article that appeared in the Daily Wire... Well, the Daily Wire is like known to be BS. But anyways, let's see. Bender was quoted accusing a former U.S. ambassador to Qatar of accepting bribes from them. I mean, is that so far? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this all shakes out. But for those of you who aren't familiar with Qatar, extremely wealthy. Okay, so Litwin, former diplomat and top Kamala Harris campaign advisor, acts as mouthpiece for terror supporting Qatar. Canadian businessman Alan Bender went further. Wow, this just keeps going. Bender, who had spoken with high-level Qatari officials, said that Smith was being paid by Qatar through her consulting firm Decibel Strategy LLC, which Bender described as her fake company in the U.S. The company has no public presence and does not describe its clients or services. Well, that sounds credible as far as what he's saying. It seems like, I mean, if you don't have a public presence, clients, or services, yeah, you're most likely a fake company that is just there to launder or, do the type of stuff that I don't even understand when it comes to some of these high-level ways of corruption. Smith is not the only former diplomat to be working for Qatar's interests. Even if we stick to public data, several former ambassadors have gone so far as to openly take Qatari money. So, there you go right there. I mean, it's like a trend of ambassadors to Qatar because, it's such a rich yet small nation that they regularly accept bribes and money. Bribes, basically. If these allegations can be proven, which, you know what, I don't think he'd be coming forth if it couldn't be proven. ILHAN Omar's political career and likely her, I was about to say, political career, she should be jailed or hung for treason. But they go on to say, and likely her freedom will be finished. Working on behalf of a foreign government is arguably the worst thing an elected official can do. The only thing I would add to that is I would take away arguably. Treason is the worst thing an American official can do, period. Especially one that's outspoken and well known as her. But, God forbid you say something like that, let's say a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. Oh, you're a racist, you're you're against immigrants, all this stuff, even though most of us come from immigrants anyways. You can't even say that stuff. And do you see how they use that against us so we don't speak out against these type of people who it's pretty obvious that they do not have America's best interest at heart? Hence, this BS impeachment. I mean, they will go down in history as the party that impeached somebody for literally mincing words when it comes to a private conversation with another foreign leader. In fact, a very important foreign leader, Ukraine, because, Russia would love to take over Ukraine. And yet, as far as Ukraine being safe and their national security, no one has done more for Ukraine than Trump. Obama sent blankets. Trump sent javelins. Sorry to yell, but I'm starting to get pissed off reading this. We are currently forming the American conservative movement. If you are interested in learning more, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's just the beginning of it. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Damn it. Do I have to open this up again like that? Alright. Now this is from the Jerusalem Post. ILHAN OMAR denies being Qatari asset. Witness confirms Jerusalem Post report. So, and there she is. Congresswoman ILHAN OMAR, Democrat, Minnesota's 5th District, was recruited by a foreign government and received funding from a foreign government and passed sensitive information through intermediaries to Iran. A Florida court has been told, and we know who they were told by, Bender, who is a Canadian citizen, but they want to focus on born in Qatar, as the Jerusalem Post confirmed. Speaking to the Post, the office of the Congresswoman denied the allegations. Well, I mean, did you expect them to admit it? Hey, you got me. Yeah, bring me to the gallows. You got me. Of course they denied it. The claims came during testimony by Kuwaiti-born Canadian businessman Alan Bender, who was giving evidence in the trial of Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Thani. The Qatar's emir's brother stands accused of ordering his American bodyguard to murder 2 people and of holding an American citizen hostage. Sounds like a great guy. And I say that sarcastically if you didn't pick that up. His deposition, obtained by Al Arabiya English, was authenticated by the attorney for the plaintiffs, according to the publication. Speaking from Toronto by video link, Bender told the Florida District Court that he met with Qatar's secretary to the Emir for Security Affairs, Mohammed bin Ahmad bin Abdullah Al Mesnad, and 2 other senior Qatari officials. According to his sworn deposition, the 3 officials told him, if it wasn't for our cash, ILHAN OMAR would be just another black Somali refugee in America collecting welfare and serving tables on weekends. Oof. I mean, if it wasn't her, I'd be like, that's harsh. But it's her, so screw her. Bender testified that the officials asked him to recruit American politicians and journalists as Qatari assets, and that when he objected, was told that several prominent figures were already on the payroll. Omar was described as the jewel in the crown, he said. Qatar recruited ILHAN Omar from even way before she thought about becoming a government official. They groomed her and arranged the foundation, the grounds, for her to get into politics way before she even showed interest. They convinced her, he added. Since the day she was elected, Saudi Arabian trolls and mouthpieces have targeted Omar with misinformation and conspiracy theories, a spokesman for the congresswoman wrote in a statement to the Jerusalem Post. And you know what? That might be true. But then again, sometimes people don't get targeted for no reason. If she was like, I don't know, Qatari, then okay, or from Yemen, then okay, then I understand a little more. She's Somalian. It's not like the Somalians and the Saudis have been in this ongoing, never-ending war. They were talking about her because it seems to be. I'm thinking the more I'm reading about this, and trust me, I don't just get swayed by I had a feeling about her anyways, or that I already have this predisposition. No. I read the facts, and there is no way this guy would put himself in potential trouble like this. I mean, he would be in big time trouble if they were able to prove not just one or two or three, but we're talking like 5 serious allegations. The type of allegations that would get a congresswoman hung. This is like unbelievable. I didn't realize this was this bad. The latest, let me just make sure I'm in the right spot. The latest outlandishly absurd story from a Saudi-funded media outlet is of course false and only the latest in that trend, the statement said. Now, mind you, this statement was made by ILHAN Omar and her office. I mean, what's she going to say? It was totally correct. Wow, I can't believe they caught me. I mean, so, I don't really give much, credit or credence to things like this, but we'll continue. The only people Representative Omar represents in Washington are the people of Minnesota's 5th District that have Somalian last name. All right, I'll stop joking. All right. She will continue to speak out against human rights violations around the world, whether it is war crimes in Yemen or the caging of children at our border, regardless of who commits them. It sounds like the same exact article as the other one, but it is a different article. But mind you, they should add in there something about, unless it's 9/11, then, some people did some stuff. I know. Yeah, red pill. Same joke as the same last one. Okay. All right. Bender's testimony has been questioned, and reports, including this one by the Post, have led to speculation. Wait, what happened? Okay, so Bender's testimony has been questioned, and reports, including this one by the Post, have led to speculation, especially on Twitter. Speaking to the Post, Bender said, I confirm that the information published in the Jerusalem Post report that ILHAN Omar in Qatar is accurate 100%. Ooh, wow. The deposition shows. I mean, they're just making statements. He's doing depositions and sworn testimony. I don't know. I mean, it's like I say this all the time. Truth is stranger than fiction. It's so true. It is just in so many different things. I mean, wait until you see what's coming. The biggest story that the MSM has missed is going to prove to the American people that exact quote. Truth is stranger than fiction. if this story isn't doing it enough for you. But we are going to wait to see what happens in this story. But I already know where my opinion stands. I think that this Bender guy is telling the truth. And, I just look at motive, and then I look at her motive. She has all the motive. He has none of the motive. And in fact, he's putting his ass on the line just to say these things. I mean, he could just say, like, one of them, let's say, if he had to, if he had this, like, bias thing against her. But no, he's going, like, above and beyond to say these things. The deposition shows he further told the court that during a 2017 meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Omar swore allegiance to him. Yes, the same Erdogan, president of Turkey. Yeah. So not only Qatar, not only, not only Iran, but also Turkey. And the president of Turkey, Erdogan, while being paid by the Qataris. So, I don't know. This is bad. Minnesota, shame on you. And I said that before I even knew this information. If it's allegedly true. Which I'm pretty sure it is. At the time, she was a junior state representative of Minnesota. It's like basically what a Jerusalem Post just copy and post from the other article. Omar was said to also have passed information to Qatar, which was subsequently handed along to Iran, and was actively involved in recruiting other American politicians to likewise work for the West Asian Islamic country, Bender testified. The best thing money can buy is American officials, because they are the cheapest of the cheapest costing officials in the world. Now I know this guy's telling the truth. Because that is a fact. Well, maybe not the cheapest, but as far as what you can get out of them, like cost divided by results, yeah, the Americans, corrupt American official would be the best buy you can make. Omar has already been found by the Minnesota Campaign Finance Board to have broken campaign finance rules. Oh, here's something new. By improperly using campaign money for out-of-state travel while she was a state representative. Conservative group Judicial Watch has also called on the House Ethics Committee to investigate Omar for alleged offenses, including immigration fraud, which you guys heard it here first about 5 months ago, I would say, when we talked about her marrying her brother, as well as when they brought over a bunch of their family and lied in the immigration papers. We covered that. I covered that thoroughly. But I thought that was I honestly thought that was as far as, the corruption that would ever come out with her. Little did I know, huh? If you guys want to see that video, you know what? I might actually pin it and put it in the description. I know that it's not the only thing I covered in that video. There's other things covered in that video. It's one of those red pill salads. But let's continue. So to immigrate, but these claims go much further. Omar was one of 107 House Democrats who co-signed a letter Thursday calling on Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to reverse his announcement on the legality of West Bank settlements. Now, mind you, if you guys aren't familiar with the West Bank settlements, okay. In fact, any settlements made by the Israelis. The last thing, literally, the last piece of legislation that Obama signed before he left office was a ban on any Israeli building or settlements outside of their current area. Now, some love it, some hate it. I, at the time, had mixed feelings about it because, I do worry about the influence of Israel when it comes to certain things. But at the same time, because of the track record Obama was starting to pile up, and with Trump coming in, it made me wonder, well, why would he do that? And I ended up finding out exactly why he would do that. And basically, it would prevent, if you are a Christian, bringing on the end days. And let me just say one thing about Obama. You know what I think his next job is going to be once he's done in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, and once he's made enough money on Netflix and all that, is I forget what I think is it the Secretary General, whatever like the top guy is of the whole UN. I think that's the job that he's going after next. And I think that he would definitely get it because in his presidency, he did a lot for the world. Well, not the whole world, but a lot for the world. Not so much for the U.S., but a lot for the world. So I really do think that he is the next. I should. If anyone knows it, put it in chat. If for some reason something general comes to my mind, Secretary General of the UN, and that would be the top guy, or is it something different? You guys let me know in the chat or the comments. So let me see. Where was I?
Where are you going? You go party here. Guess why? Because we don't have any more clothes. This one. You have to abandon this one. No more cookies in this one. No more cookies in here. You gotta go there. Alright? Or else it'll be screwed. And we'll leave it tomorrow. So this is the time that you say,
Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to see where I left off. Because I just started talking about the West Bank. So where's that? This is basically the same stuff anyways. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So I'm just going to read this paragraph again because I interrupted it. OMAR was one of 107 House Democrats, which really isn't much. That means that like half of the Democrats weren't agreeing with her as far as the House Democrats go. Actually, even she was actually probably in the minority of the House Democrats, actually 107. So yeah, she was probably in the minority of the House Democrats, who co-signed a letter Thursday calling on Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to reverse his announcement on the legality of West Bank settlements. which is exactly the last act that Obama did before he left. The signatories claimed such a move severely damaged prospects for peace in the region. Yeah, but from which side? You know? All right. So, wow, this is unbelievable. Yeah. So this is, I guess this is before that story came out. Them reverse this immediately. The regular players. Of course, AOC as well. So, yeah, the squad. And all you people out there that supported the squad, I mean, how do you guys feel now? Seriously, how do you feel now? Because you look pretty ridiculous from where I'm sitting. All right, so now we're going to go on to Twitter. And we are going to get the latest on this. We are going to see how people are reacting. But you know what? Before I do that, I want to... Now, you heard this second here at the Red Pill News Dispensary. And you know how much I love being first. And I like to break things. But this was broken by a YouTube channel called by the name of John Boy. And I know that Kelly Kibo put it in the description. Wow, can I even find him? He might, he just might not have that many. Let's see, John Boy. Kelly, do you have an idea of See, the thing is, I don't want to search people. I don't want to search videos. I want to search people. Huh. The John Boy and Billy show? No, that's a big show. John Boy, I'm just going to put John Boy OMAR. And hopefully that will make it come up. Oh, I think this is it. So it looks like you guys already have been subscribing. Because I know he was at 9:30. So I want to thank the 40 of you that went over and subscribed. Let me just make sure this is the right guy. Yep, ILHAN OMAR accused of being paid. About 2 hours ago we did this. So this is John Boy right here. And I am now subscribed as well. And let's get him above 1,000. Now, I'm not saying love mob because, like I said, we're not in the DSM-5. We're not critically insane, as they call love mobs to be. We just, when somebody deserves it, they get the love they deserve. And also, he was somebody who I didn't know, but when Kelly first asked me if I knew him, I said, it sounds familiar. I remember during my phone call with Adam, which he was told he was being recorded, and he agreed to have it put on the internet. Yet, I never put it on the internet. You know why? Because he has kids, and I don't want to say exactly what he said, but it would have been such a bad look that it would have hurt his livelihood. And I don't want to do that to someone with kids. Whereas people he supports and gives platforms don't just not want to hurt your livelihood, which this isn't exactly a livelihood to me because I don't get donations. Although I did get $9.99 last night super chat, and any donations are greatly appreciated, and then at a certain point, I'm not greedy. At a certain point, as soon as I get enough where it's not going into my pocket, it's just going to go to the channel. Before, it used to be just PayPal goes to the channel, all other forms of donating would go to, my family. But at this point, any donations have to go to the channel because, I mean, think about it. We're second on this. We broke Al Baghdadi being killed. And we're not just talking YouTube. We're talking across all platforms, including the MSM. It was reported in the Middle East before we did. But like I said, in this hemisphere, across all platforms, we were the first to it. Red Pill News Dispensary. Same thing. These are all just recently in the past month. Same thing with Q coming back. Nobody knew Q was coming back. He had been gone for almost 3 months. All of a sudden, a lot of you guys were there. Somebody came into the chat. They told us where he was coming back, like exactly where he was going to pop up, and that he was coming back right, he was coming back right away. And I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if I believed it. And then, boom, 45 minutes later, not only did Q come back, but he came back exactly where this mystery person, who I haven't seen again since, said he would. So that tells me that, there's more powerful people that have taken notice of our channel. And, that's good on me, but really, it's good on us as a community. I don't just say this for no reason. I think this is the most intelligent audience on YouTube. Sometimes when the audience is too big, well, you're always gonna have some dummies. But we've also, I'm not scared to lose subs. I weed out the dummies that like cults. And at the same time, as much as I want to do one, I'm not going to do any hate videos. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to let them sit in all that hate that they produced. And, it just shows. And just the other night, they're talking about, oh, how could you do that? He has kids. Yet, they literally tried to put my kid's life in danger. Literally. And I have proof. Everything I'm saying, I don't just say. I have proof. So, anyways, back to John Boy. This is his moment. Great job, brother. Great job. And I have a pretty good feeling you'll be above 1,000. Now, I'm sorry, I don't tell my subs what to do, but I do make the suggestion that when someone deserves it, they should get it. And this guy broke this story. Good job, John Boy. If I can't be first, I don't mind being second. And who better to be second behind in breaking this story than you? Somebody who sees Adam and his cult for what they are. So, good job, John Boy. I'll check in later and check in on where you're at with the subs. But right now, already at 975. So he's 25 away. I think he's definitely going to make it. All right, great. I'm really happy. That's awesome. And it's like, it's not just anyone who calls or anything like that, or just, send you in love mob with a bunch of people. And guess what? John Boy, you owe me for that? Nothing. I mean, you did it yourself through your own hard work, I just feel bad for people who think, oh, yeah, they think that they're going to make it. Yet, when you take the fast route there, you don't have the viewing hours. You don't have all of the things that you need in order to be able to, go live on a mobile. And, that's something that RTP didn't know, because he tried to take all the shortcuts, like having people watch him sleep and all that, going around and begging every YouTuber ever came across, if they would, plug his channel and help him get subs. Same things he did with me. But, I'm not gonna make a hate video. This is John Boy's moment. Good job. You did it the right way. And you kept your integrity the whole way. And people like that should be rewarded. This is the first time I've done this with a channel. But I'm just trying to make sure he gets above 1,000 with this story. He deserves it. I mean, I know what it feels like to break big stories over and over and not get the recognition, not make any money, not really get appreciated. So I want him to at least feel appreciation breaking this story. So, anyways, let's continue. And I feel like lately, if someone had just started watching me, let's say like since the past 2 days, they would think like, wow, well, this guy just wants money. No, no, no. What I want is to give the best possible product I can give based on equipment to my audience. And that's the honest to God truth. And so hopefully I can get there. Again, if you want to donate, please. You could do it through PayPal. You could do it through Venmo. You could do it through Cash App. You could do it through Super Chat, whatever you want. And all of that is in the description. Now, let's continue with this story. This is the Mom of Peace. And let's listen to what he has to
say. Imam, an author, a preacher, a peace activist.
Was that long?
And I mainly criticize Islamic extremists. I am now in Hungary, in Budapest. I have been invited by the Prime Minister's office to attend
You know what? Okay, we're going to listen to this. But first, I want to show you guys why we are looking at this. Look at this. Michael Cozy with the, and they get the, they have the check mark. Everyone use the hashtag. All right. And I think it's a good idea. Investigate ILHAN and tweet about this to get it to trend. Nice. You know what? I'll do it after. I'm not going to do it now. But afterwards, I'm going to do it. Maybe I will do it right now. Whatever. Let's do it really quick. Alright. Sorry guys, just had to do that. I mean, that guy is a blue check mark, so he's not just oh wow, could you imagine? I'm gonna follow her. Normally I wouldn't, but I am following her just because I want to see this play out. Let's see what she says. This phony. Let's see if she's active, or yeah, she's hiding. She's hiding. Of course she is. I'd hide too if I was committing treason. Alright. You can thank at Imam Peace for exposing ILHAN OMAR. Wow, this is crazy.
But can I please get a...
Alright, we're gonna get to him. You know what? Let's get to him right now. Hey, Amanda! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Alright. So he's definitely he is a somebody who is totally against Qatar, but he's not against Americans yet. It seems like he really got this story out there. So let's check it out. Let's see what he has to say.
Let me know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, that is perfect. Okay, I'll start with a quick introduction. My name is Muhammad Tawhidi. I am a imam, an author, a preacher, a peace activist, and I mainly criticize Islamic extremists. I am now in Hungary, in Budapest. I have been invited by the Prime Minister's office to attend a conference on Christian persecution. Before I made this, or before I appeared live right now, I announced this many hours ago that I was going to be live based on your time zone. It could be yesterday. And when I did make the announcement, several government members messaged me on WhatsApp telling me that they will be watching, which means I will be speaking in a way that is clear for government officials, people who are from the intelligence community, as well as regular citizens who are concerned about what is happening. I have a request. Before I begin, I want you to listen to me as someone who is involved. Again, I repeat, I am not a journalist. I am not someone who heard this yesterday from the news. I am someone whose life has been impacted because of this very case between ILHAN OMAR and the state of Qatar and the Muslim Brotherhood and so on and so forth. And yesterday, I publicized a letter from the government of Qatar to Twitter requesting from them to delete my tweets that exposes their meddling in Congress and in the mainstream media, and to fully investigate me and hopefully suspend me. And my lawyer has responded in an appropriate manner almost immediately. The letter we received on Friday, we responded on Monday. The point I am trying to get at is that I am not someone that just heard this and I'm coming out live. I'm going to tell you what exactly is happening based on the points that I have before me now. Firstly, I am going to speak about what happened in a very brief way that everybody can understand and get an idea of where we are heading. Secondly, I will be speaking about the man mentioned in the deposition, the man who spoke about ILHAN OMAR and her relationship with Qatar, Alan Bender. Who is Alan Bender? I know the man. Government officials know the man. Royals in the Middle East know the man. And I will be speaking about who he is, in brief, just to give you an idea of the sort of person that has come out to speak about ILHAN OMAR and why some journalists, sadly, Republicans, conservatives, feel the need to discredit this man. This is a scandal within another scandal, but we will get to it. Then I will speak about how ILHAN OMAR is involved in this whole case. What exactly took place. And then I will shed light, meaning America time, meaning Washington DC time. Something will take place, and I will say it at the end of this list of topics that I want to speak about. Firstly, to answer the question, what happened and what is going on? There is a federal lawsuit in Florida against the brother of the Emir of Qatar. The ruler of Qatar has a brother. He is called Khalid Al-Thani. And he tried to get his security guard, an American citizen, to murder American citizens. And there has been many violence and issues involved, to the point that now it has warranted a lawsuit, and the lawsuit is ongoing. During the lawsuit, the case, 4 people were subpoenaed. One was the ambassador of Qatar in Washington DC. The second person who was subpoenaed is Mohammed Al-Masnad, the chief of Qatar's intelligence. The third person who was subpoenaed is Abdullah Al-Adhba, who is the right-hand man to the Emir of Qatar. And the fourth person who was subpoenaed is Alan Bender, the Canadian businessman. And he was subpoenaed for a totally different reason. He is not a Qatari official. He is not a Qatari member of the Qatari government. But why was this man subpoenaed is a very good question. Firstly, I would like to make something clear. All of the 3 aforementioned Qatari officials avoided the subpoena. They escaped it, and they did not attend the deposition. Alan Bender was the only one who attended the deposition. And Alan Bender is not a Qatari official. He is a Canadian citizen. This is the case. Now, how does ILHAN OMAR get involved? How am I involved in this case? And how on earth is Alan Bender, a Canadian businessman, involved in all of this? Therefore, I need to answer the question, who is Alan Bender? Alan Bender is a secular man. He's not an Islamist, nor is he religious of any sort. And he's a Canadian man, he's not even American. So he's not biased, neither with the Democrats or the Republicans. And he is a friend of many world leaders, especially in the Middle East. Among his friends is Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. And if you go to Alan Bender on his Twitter page, you'll find his pictures with the Prime Minister of Canada, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but many times, as well as with the other members of the Canadian government. Alan Bender is a left-leaning individual. He's a liberal. He's not right-wing. He's not conservative. He's a left-leaning liberal who is saying what he is saying about ILHAN OMAR. So nobody can accuse him of being a right-wing hack. The man is clearly a liberal friend of Justin Trudeau, which means he would support Obama over Trump any day, any time, which means he doesn't even support the Republicans. The man is a liberal Canadian friend of Justin Trudeau, and he supports Justin Trudeau, and he is well known amongst world leaders in the Middle East. What do I mean by that? I mean he mediates between them. So when royal members of the Saudi family have internal conflict, they bring Alan Bender to solve the problem for them. He is that powerful. He was the man who the Saudi government brought in order to interrogate and speak to Al-Walid ibn Talal, the Saudi billionaire who was held in the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Alan Bender is someone who is well known and well respected amongst the intelligence community worldwide. Alan Bender is someone who royals in the Middle East look up to and respect and revere and fear. The man isn't just any person for them to try and discredit. Alan Bender is a very important man in this entire deposition, which is why he was subpoenaed in the US federal lawsuit to begin with, because of his relationships and friendship and affiliation with royals in the Middle East and awareness of what takes place, as well as what secrets the Qataris have been giving to him and what they wanted from him. What did the Qataris want from Alan Bender? They wanted him to run their operations in America. And by that I mean the USA and Canada and the region wherever he is present. They wanted him to run their operations. And they spoke to him in many days because he was in Qatar. This is a point that the articles that mention ILHAN Omar do not mention about Alan Bender. Alan Bender was in Qatar. He's not sitting in Canada speaking about ILHAN. The man was in Qatar recently. And I have seen the itinerary. And I have the itinerary. And I have seen the gifts gifted to him with the royal seal of the government of Qatar. The itinerary for him to visit Qatar was booked by the royal family of Qatar. And they wanted him to run their operations where? In America, in the USA. And they requested several illegal things from him. And when he declined, they told him, by the way, everybody you are speaking about, or we have mentioned, ILHAN Omar included, are on our payroll, and they work for us. This is what Alan has been told. This is not a claim. We need to be very clear. In the deposition, which nobody on Twitter who speaks about this case has, I will tell you who has a deposition.
The Red Pill News Dispensary,
Rebecca Castaneda
and John Boy got
from
it.
Florida. She has a deposition. Her clients, too, Matthews, they have the deposition. Alan Bender, who testified, he has a copy of the deposition. I have a copy of the deposition. Dinesh D'Souza has a copy of the deposition. And one journalist who I know has a copy of the deposition, and she posted it back to Alan Bender. Nobody else has a copy of the deposition.
Well,
and
Imam,
it has not been filed publicly
don't forget
anywhere.
Q.
So whoever tells you they have a deposition and they read what was said about ILHAN Omar, they either obtained it in an unauthorized manner, and therefore they cannot use it. And there are laws about leaking depositions that haven't been filed. That's what I heard. I am not sure about American law, but from what I hear, a lawyer told me it is a serious offense. Now, these people who claim, I don't believe them, because I know who has a deposition, and it has not been filed. In the deposition, Alan Bender does not make any statements from himself. He is not claiming anything. He's only telling the lawyer what the Qataris wanted from him in America, what they wanted him to do in Canada, in America. That's all. And the man testified under oath. And he's Canadian. He's not someone that can run away. You know, US law applies to him. And the deposition took place in Toronto in October. And he had to attend, and he testified under oath, and he said what they told him in the meeting, in his last meeting a few months ago in Qatar. Now let us come to the case where he speaks about ILHAN Omar. The man is only conveying what Mohammed al-Masnad, the chief of Qatar's intelligence, told him, that ILHAN Omar works for Qatar, that ILHAN Omar is made by Qatar, that ILHAN Omar is completely funded by Qatar, that ILHAN Omar is the jewel of the crown of Qatar, along with Linda Sarsour, along with Rashida Tlaib, along with all of these people who are the CARE gang, the Qatari gang in Washington, D.C. That is what Mohammed al-Masnad, the chief of Qatar's intelligence, who is the uncle of the emir, tribally speaking, because he's the cousin of the emir's mother. He was the one who invited Alan Bender. Why didn't Qatar make this deal with Alan Bender on the phone? Why did they bring him to Qatar, to Doha, to speak to him? Why? Because of this case. And Alan Bender is someone who was praised by the Qataris and by the royals and by the affiliates of the royals on Qatar state television. They call him our dear friend. So the man clearly is not a Republican and he's not a conservative. He's a man who knows the Qataris, knows the Saudis, knows the people in the UAE, well connected, and the Qataris made a request from him to manage the operations of Qatar and the Muslim Brotherhood in America. And when the court case took place and he was subpoenaed, he testified and he said what he said. So the man has nothing personal against ILHAN. It's not in his agenda to bring people down and go after people. He's a businessman that was offered the job and now he's explaining what the job was. That's it. Now, with regard to the deposition, is it only Alan Bender who is making these statements? Or do we have historic evidence and recent evidence that shows that this exactly is how Qatar operates? Qatar did the same thing in Kuwait, and it did the same thing in Saudi Arabia, and it's doing the same thing in other countries in the Gulf. They infiltrate parliaments, which is why all of the surrounding neighbors cut ties with Qatar. And by the way, the surrounding neighbors are not innocent. They also fund terrorism. They also have their dirty dealings. But this is a case I speak about Qatar. How am I involved, you may ask?
After the 19-minute
in the first 80 pages of the deposition, my name is all over the place.
So,
Imam Muhammad Tawheed. Why? Because the Qataris tell Alan that ILHAN Omar wanted Imam Tawheed destroyed. And evidence for this exists online. If you go to Al Jazeera, you go to the Qatari-funded Intercept, you go to the Qatari-funded Middle East Eye, you go to Al-Arabi, which belongs to Azmi Bshara, the right-hand man of the Emir of Qatar. All Qatari networks have been character assassinating me for a long time, at least a year, article after article. Why? Because ILHAN Omar made the request, and the deposition reveals that. That's what the Qataris told him. Well, that's what they told Alan Bender. And it all makes sense. It's happening. They made me seem controversial. They tried to character assassinate me. ILHAN tried to silence the loud critics. And this not only involves me, this also involves Donald Trump Jr., who I have informed of this matter. That they tried to make a problem between Don Jr. and Jared Kushner, and they failed. This is the Qatari agenda.
Interesting.
To silence the loud critics of ILHAN Omar based on her request.
This is
now,
piece.
Let's move on
to
what's going to happen now. Now, what's taking place is that people are hearing about it. I am involved in it. I don't hear about it from anyone. I am involved in this case. I began speaking 6 months ago, but I've been involved for a year. For 1 year, I began speaking in June, July. In order to protect myself, I had to make known my enemy and what's happening and what's taking place. But I was waiting for the deposition. Now, this deposition only mentions ILHAN Omar because the lawyer asked Alan Bender, fine, you've testified against the brother of the Emir of Qatar. Now what can you tell us about Qatar's other illegal activities in the United States of America? And that's when he had to speak about ILHAN, and speak about me, and speak about Linda Sarsour, and speak about CARE, and speak about the Muslim Brotherhood, and spill the beans, because he testified
Muslim Brotherhood, you heard it,
that he was going to speak, and he wasn't going to hold anything back, and he did. And now he is not on the good side of the Qataris. But the question is, will ILHAN Omar now deny? Will ILHAN Omar now file a lawsuit against Alan Bender? Those who are looking for credibility, ask yourself this question. Qatar, whoever says anything about her, about Qatar, immediately,
of course she's gonna
you will find Al Jazeera, the Intercept, the Washington Post, the New York Times, all of them come and try to defend Qatar. Trying to clarify that Qatar denies and Qatar does not approve,
Guantanamo Bay
this
is
never
making
took place. How come they've been silent for the past 6 months? Why hasn't Qatar issued a statement? Will the chief of Qatar's intelligence come out and call Alan Bender a liar? Will he dare do that? He will not. He will not. He will not dare. Because he knows who Alan Bender is. And he knows what Alan Bender has. And he knows what other things Alan Bender hasn't spoken about. Now, will ILHAN Omar deny? And by the way, ILHAN Omar is not someone that lives in Jupiter. She is not someone who is innocent. A month doesn't go by without a scandal for ILHAN. A month doesn't go by without a scandal.
Marrying her brother.
Something's always happening. And by the way, this case of Qatar is only the tip of the iceberg. This is...
And with that, we're going to pause it. I got to check in on my audience. Okay. So I just want to check in, read some of your comments, see what you guys think. Make sure that we're still alive. Make sure that they haven't, done what they've done in the past and basically taken away our freedom of speech and expression. So let's see. Where am I? Alright, where am I? Here we go. This is what I hate about, oh, okay, so. Alright, let's do it this way. This is a lot more safe. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, do you guys think that playing his testimony, for lack of a better word, is boring? Is it? Oh, it's boring? You guys don't like it? I agree, Kelly, with as far as nobody should get a pass. That what you just wrote. Alright, so I'm gonna go all the way back. Alright, so happy almost Thanksgiving. Hello, Mark Knott. Kelly Keeble, hello. Captain Nobody. What's cracking, brother? Laurie M. Hello. Yes, and hello to you as well, Patriot. Let's see. Dory Goldum. Hey, by the way, I got your email. We've been corresponding. If you ever want to tell your story, I think that would be beneficial to a lot of people. So it's up to you. Just email me. I won't say anything further. Just email me if you're interested. The same email that you emailed me at before. Lori. Lori, the answer to that question is, Lori said, did you put out the video you spoke about very early this morning? So, yes, very early this morning. I named that, I should have named it Introduction, but I put Part 1. But it was basically an introduction. And had this not came across my my proverbial desk, I would have been doing Part 2, which would really be Part 1 of that story. But this is, I mean, you got to go with the time-sensitive stuff first. So I went with this, and as soon as this is over, I have to give a little bit of a gap, or else notifications will not go out. So let's say around 10:30, give or take 45 minutes. Between 10:30 and 11:30, I'll be doing the first part, which will be Part 2, although the first part of that unbelievable
story. And just so you know, that's going to be a most likely like a 5, most likely 6-part series. Just so you know. But thank you. I'm happy you asked that, Lori, so I could make that clear to everybody. I was gonna do that at the end, but since you asked, I'll just say it now. Hoodoo Dino, how you doing? Captain Nobody, how you doing? Becca Morrison, hello. And by the way, guys, since I started, if I remember correctly, I think it was like around, give or take a minute. It was either between 9 and 11 minutes is when I actually started this stream. So I'll put that for people watching this afterwards. I'll put that. I'll pin the comment and put start at. And I'll find out the exact minute and second marker. Becca Morrison, how you doing? West Texas Danielle, how you doing? Oh, there she is. I've been wondering where you been. Sure Bear, how you doing? Good to see you. Happy to see you here, Sure Bear 2000. Lovely 777. Penny. That's new to me, to be honest with you. And welcome. And if you might, this is most likely not your first time here, but as far as like in the live chat, forgive me, but it's my first time with my memory, at least, that I remember seeing you. So hello and welcome. Although I'm pretty sure you've been here before. Let's see. Angela W. Hello. Brian Cole. Which, by the way, hey guys, I was talking about I have some new moderators that I had to fill positions for. And I will be doing that, just so you guys know. I will be doing that before part 2 to the 6-part series that I am working on. So basically, to put that simply, the next time I go live, those people will have their wrenches. And if you don't get a wrench, don't take that to heart. I'm always changing out moderators. Sometimes there's people who are great moderators, but they only show up for like 1 out of every 10 shows. So that's nothing against them, and I wouldn't make them a moderator unless I thought very highly of them. But if you can only make it to, let's say, I don't know, as long as you make it to at least like 1 out of every 3, maybe 1 out of every 4 shows, that's fine. But once it starts being 1 out of every 5 or 6 or 1 out of every 10 shows, it's just it's nothing against you. It's just I need to make sure that I have moderators at all times for obvious reasons. Angela W, hello again. Polarin message. Hello. That's a moderator, of course. see. The rabbit hole. Hey, good to see you. Long time no talk, huh? Let's see. At that point, you probably didn't miss much. And I'm trying to go through this quick because I want to get back to this guy. I stopped it at the a little bit after the halfway point, but what he's saying is very important. Born a Racer, hello. Good to see you again. I've seen you a lot lately. I like that. Lloyd Baca, it's been a while. Hello, sir. Kirk Thompson. That sounds familiar, but you might have not been here for a while, but it's so good to see you. So you don't think this is real, Kirk? I don't know. Time will tell. But as time goes, right now, the evidence is starting to stack up on the side of this is 100% real. So, but we'll see, Kirk. I'd be willing to make a friendly bet. So, email me. Check the description. Email me. I'd be willing to make a friendly bet on this. Don't email me after it's proven to be or not to be true. I mean, email me right away. Let's see. AJ McLaughlin Jr. Not buffering. That's good. And hello. Obama plant. Scott Mattenclot. First time I saw that name, but yeah, I don't know at what point of the video this is. But if you're talking about the Oman, no, he's on an Obama plant. But actually, I think I know who you're talking about because I mentioned something about an Obama plant. And yes, if it's what I'm thinking, yes, that they were an Obama plant. Bubba News, how you doing? I'm happy you stopped by. The infamous Bubba News, good to see you. Let's see. Kylel 999. Oh, a live you donated $9.99. Thank you so much. To what's it called? Super Chat. Thank you so much, Kylel. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're gonna get this studio built. We are. Thank you so much, Kylel. I wish I had more information on you, but Kylel, if you want to leave like an email or any way to contact you, please do. Because one thing I like to do is do a little something special for anyone who donates. Even if they donate $2, I like to do something a little special for them. So, in the description, if you're just watching this later, you'll see my emails. If you want to get in touch with me, I'll see what I can do with your screen name, if I can get in touch with you. But most of all, thank you, sir. That's Kyle L. Okay. And I'm not skipping people. I'm just, I just want to make sure I say hello to everybody so I could start this back up. And let me see. What is that in green? I see Kelly. Oh, John Boy's channel. Yes, that's John Boy. I was second on this story, but the first person to this story was John Boy. And John Boy, he's taking the long, hard road to get to 975 last I checked. He was 930 at the beginning of the stream. So I'm pretty confident he's going to hit 1,000 if he hasn't already. He'll definitely hit 1,000 once this is uploaded and you know, people watch it when they have a chance. 'Cause, you know, a lot of people are still you know, settling down and just putting on YouTube. Let's see, and then I see another one. I saw another one. Oh yeah, and that's PayPal. Yeah, so the best way to donate, although all ways to donate are fine because they're not going to me and my family right now. That doesn't mean that we don't need it, but what's important to me right now is building up the channel, not myself. So thank you, Kelly Keeble, for putting my PayPal. So if anyone wants to donate with PayPal, if you're familiar with PayPal, Kelly Keeble put a link right there around the well, right here, as you guys can see. And guys, don't leave. We're gonna finish the Imam of Peace. Angela W, how you doing? Rabbit Hole, hello again. Let's see. Captain Nobody. Hello. Brian Knight, how you doing? Good to see you here, Brian Knight. Long time no see. Yeah, I know, right, Captain Nobody? You know, they're going to do it to us. Why not do it to them? Although I think we'll do a lot worse than infiltrate their government. We might have to do a little shuffle, if you know what I mean. All right, guys, so I'm going to go back and finish the... we did, you know, past halfway. But we're going to finish the second half. I think this information is very important, and especially since it's coming straight from the horse's mouth, for lack of a better term. So here we go.
This is only the beginning. When I say only the beginning, I'm going to say something now which is extremely dangerous. But I will have to say it. Because if I don't say it, people will think I am empty and I really don't have anything more to add. Let me tell you how deep this will go. This will go as far as investigating who the people coming to Congress are and who they are testifying for and who pays them. When ILHAN Omar brings people to testify in Congress, I have a question. Question mark. Are these people testifying in order to further Qatar's agenda? Yes or no? And I will throw a name out there. Al-Hadlul. Walid Al-Hadlul. This is a question I would like to raise. These people who come to testify in Congress and to bash the enemies of Qatar, and ILHAN Omar arranges for them to come to Congress, have they been blackmailed? Have they been put in a bad position? Have they been paid? I have the answers. I am saying this so you know. The case with Qatar in Congress goes very deep in both the Democrats and the Republicans. It goes very deep.
And the Republicans, wow.
The point I'm trying to make is that Alan Bender has nothing to do with this. He's a Canadian who's telling Americans in a federal lawsuit what took place. And good on him for doing that. Now,
actually, yes, I can. I can
what's
think of
going to take place now? Tonight, there will be a second person to come forward and corroborate the statements of Alan Bender.
Oh, wow.
That ILHAN Omar is in fact a Qatari agent in Congress.
So that'll be
tonight. Who is this person? You will find out. He's a doctor in the United Kingdom who was the guest of the Qatari Prime Minister for 6 months.
I'm curious who this is going to be.
And was well connected with
so
the Qatari
stay tuned tonight. A UK doctor will come forward and corroborate
American
the story.
Time, this evening in America. And he will corroborate the statements
already
of
this
Alan Bender.
evening,
Now
so
we have two witnesses.
Maybe it's
One of them
happening
said
right now.
that this is what the Qataris
If
told
it's
me
happening
about
right
Ilhan,
now,
that
will
she
one of
works
my
for them,
mods
and the
call
other
me?
guy is going to testify that this is exactly
If
what happened when he was there for 6
the
months.
UK doctor comes
The
forward
case that we speak about
while
is
the
very,
Imam
very
is
deep,
talking,
and it is
if
very,
one of my
very
mods
filthy,
could please call
and
me,
it's a very
if
long
the
case.
UK doctor who
What was
corroborates the
published
story comes
yesterday
forward,
about Ilhan and Qatar is
while I'm
only
having
a
this
drop in the
play.
ocean. Believe me, because I'm not a journalist, I am involved. And my name is all over the deposition. And I am someone
But there's
who, as
only
I
15
speak now,
minutes left.
there are Qatari lawyers out there trying to have me suspended because of the other documents that I have, because of the other evidence that I have, because of what else is coming in the future, trying to get me suspended from Twitter and Facebook and so on. I have an ongoing lawsuit against me in Australia. 2, in fact, by Qatar. Funded by Qatar. I am someone who 1 week doesn't go by without Qatar hacking my phone, hacking my email, doing this and that. I am involved in all of this, and I am mentioned. I am authorized to have the deposition. I am the one who knows who else has a deposition, and I speak on that basis. Nobody online who you see who say our sources don't verify, they have no idea. They have no idea. The only person on Twitter that has the deposition is Dinesh D'Souza, Alan Bender, and Rebecca Castaneda, the lawyer. Nobody else has it. She hasn't filed it. This is the truth. Now, let us wrap up. 1. I have been accusing ILHAN Omar of being an agent for Qatar for 6 months. And I've been sitting on this information before that for 6 months earlier, so 1 year. 2. I said the scandal was going to take place. And now the reports are coming out. The claims were not made by Alan Bender. This is a report of a job offering that he received, and he is only conveying that to the American courts. Now there will be tonight another person who will come forward and who will testify that yes, in fact, I was the guest of the Qatari Prime Minister for 6 months, and what Alan Bender said about ILHAN Omar is 100% true. She works for the Qataris and she gives them information, and the Qataris take the information they want and they give the rest to the Iranians. And this is nothing compared to what ILHAN does for Qatar in Congress.
Exactly.
Believe me, because I have seen the deposition, and other government officials also know of this. And people tell me, why don't you go to the FBI? Why don't you go to the CIA? Why would I go to anyone?
Yeah.
They know where I am. If they need me, they will call me. They know what information I have. If they believe they need me, they will call me. I'm not going to do any secret meetings with anyone.
Well,
Anything I know, I will strategize, time it perfectly, and put it publicly. Put it online. The FBI follow me. 100%, without a doubt. If they're not, then they should be. And I have other government officials and people in the CIA who I am 100% sure of, and I know who they are. And I've spoken to, who follow me online. So if I have something to say, it will be online. But if they want to speak to me about something specific, I'm ready to attend. And I am ready to testify in front of Congress. And I want ILHAN, if that day happens, I want her to sit in front of me. I want her to come face to face with me. And I wish one day she will bring me and Alan Bender, and bring me and the other person who will come out tonight to speak about how, yes, exactly what was said in the articles and what is...
If the mods, if you guys could call me.
That doctor who corroborates his story as well as the story of the Canadian citizen who was born in Qatar, and we will see where all this goes with ILHAN Omar. She's been quiet outside of a statement, and I just also want to say I was second on this story on YouTube, but I think that John Boy deserves some credit. And he was first on this story, and we're not a cult here, you know. We reward people who deserve it, and John Boy did break this story first. So I'm gonna go back and start researching for part 2 of my 6-part series. Unless something crazy comes up in the meantime, I'll see you guys pretty soon for part 2 of the original part 1 from this morning. But I had to do this first. This was time sensitive and, let's admit it, amazing. So red pill new dispenser.